welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night. Been a little while since I've done an not necessarily been a while since I've done an After Dark, but been a while since I've done a regular After Dark outside of like full games. So cool to be back. And if you guys didn't tune in earlier, we did the first half of the Clayton Crowley video. If you know what I just did there, you guys are awesome. The Clayton Crowley video titled The Legend of Kobe Bryant, the full career supercut. We are near halfway point, so this is going to be a super long video. The first one was about an hour. This one is going to be about the same. So grab a drink, grab some snacks, do your stuff, and let's get ready for this, guys. If you didn't watch the first half, probably go check out the first half. That was released this morning, and yeah, let's get on with it. We left off right at where I like to consider like the halfway point of Kobe's career, where he completely changes. I mean, he's going to change numbers and everything too. Like, he went from a Kobe that I didn't respect that much because, you know, I didn't think he had the right winning championship mindset, to the ultimate, you know, the second, you know, in my opinion, second best player I've ever seen. So anyways, you guys, Clayton Crowley, his video is going to be linked down below in the description for you guys. Also, you'll see a list of channel members. Shout out to channel members. I appreciate you guys. And let's get into this. Like the vid if you could. Hit that hype button. Let's do it.
After the season, Bryant decided to make a change. Whether it was to rehab his public image, to signal a change in personality, or just because he wanted to, Kobe Bryant changed his number before the 2006-2007 season from 8 to 24. Did it work? Not exactly. At least not at first. He was still committed to taking the most shots and scoring the most points. For the 2007 season, Kobe led the league in scoring, won the All-Star Game MVP, and was a first-team selection to both the All-League team and the All-Defensive team. He had 10 50-point games that season, 4 of which came in a row, which is something that not even Jordan ever did. The Lakers, meanwhile, ended the year with another mediocre record at 42-40. Once again, the Lakers faced the Suns.
Damn, look at that explosive step on Raja.
For record at 42-40. Once again, the Lakers faced the Suns.
Damn.
And once again, the Lakers lost. Kobe's reputation was taking hits left and right. He had now either missed the playoffs or lost in the first round every year since his breakup with Shaq. He was a marvel of a talent. Truly the closest thing to Michael Jordan that there has ever been or likely will ever be.
Agreed.
He was the most entertaining one-man show in sports, whose only misfortune was falling in love with a team sport. It cannot be said that he did not work hard. It cannot be said that he did not want to win. But at the end of the day, he did not respect his teammates enough to trust them with the ball. Whether it was their talent, their work ethic, or both, they did not measure up to the impossibly high standard of Kobe Bryant. Jordan faced the same problem in his career, eventually finding his solution by forging his teammates in the grueling furnace of his own wrath. When all was said and done, 2 of those Bulls championships hinged on plays in which Michael Jordan gave the ball up in crucial situations in the finals.
Which is crazy because that, like, they're showing this, of course, the 93 finals, every video. It's a video about Kobe Bryant, yet somehow 93 finals. Haha. It's my life. But no, I mean, to speak on it, Jordan had to, I mean, this is when he was averaging 41 points a game in this NBA Finals. Greatest performance I've ever seen. Even then, he had the self-control to go, okay, I know when it's time to pass. You know, like that's the thing I was waiting for Kobe to get. And I feel like Kobe got that right around this phase where you have to trust your teammates. You have to understand when to do it, how to do it. And I think Phil Jackson did that for Jordan, right? Jordan had that in North Carolina, kind of forgot it early years in Chicago because his team sucked. So Kobe went through the same thing. His team sucked. He learned not to trust his team because of that. And then Phil had to come around. And the thing is, like, for Kobe, he had Phil from almost the beginning So I don't think he understood the value of Phil until later on in his career, when he actually started listening to him and trusting Phil. Because if you're not going to like start out with trusting your coach, then no way you're going to trust, your teammates as well. So Kobe had to go through this later on in his career than Jordan did because of that.
The idea that Kobe Bryant in 2007 would ever pass the ball to a teammate in the final moments of a game, especially with something like a championship on the line, is laughable.
Yeah, shout out Ron Artest.
Were his teammates crap? Yeah. Kwame Brown, Smush Parker.
Smush.
Of course the Lakers weren't going to win a championship with that. But even still, Kobe's contemporaries like LeBron James and Tim Duncan were making names for their ability to foster cohesion and make teammates better. Instead, Kobe Bryant was all alone in the solitary trapping of his own creation. Which brings us all to the 2007-2008 NBA season, the second half of Kobe Bryant's career and the true birth of the Black Mamba. The 2008 Lakers entered the season with high hopes, if for no other reason than the reacquisition of Derek Fisher, the point guard who'd helmed all 3 championships of the Lakers three-peat. More than anything he did on the court, Fisher made the greatest impact by getting Kobe to buy into a team concept.
Yeah, I think at this point, I might have just missed it, but I think he went from Utah, right? He was playing for the Jazz, and then he came back to LA.
He was someone Kobe could trust.
Yep.
Not much, maybe not even enough, but a little. Halfway through the year, the Lakers sat at 30-16, contending for top seeding in one of the most competitive Western Conferences in history. The Lakers' fortunes were improving, and on February 1st, the team pulled off a blockbuster trade, sending a lump of nobodies and 2 future first-round picks to the Memphis Grizzlies, in exchange for the best player the Grizzlies had employed in their franchise's young history to that point. Power forward, Pau Gasol. I'm not kidding when I say that Pau was the best player in Grizzlies history at that point. When he left, he was the franchise leader in minutes played, games played, field goals, free throws, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, blocks, and points. The Spaniard was a legit 7-footer with athleticism, adept post scoring, mid-range scoring, lethal jumpers, hook shots, fakes, up and unders, and an edge that earned him Kobe's respect. With that, the Lakers were off to the races. Having earned Kobe's respect and trust, the chemistry between the two began to flourish as they game planned on the floor in Spain to keep opponents unaware. In the 29 games that Pau Gasol started for the Lakers that season, they lost just 5 games.
That's insane.
By season's end, the Lakers had secured the top spot in one of the tightest conference races ever. Kobe had been humbled. He'd had the opportunity to take every shot, control every possession, and impose his singular will on the game with no restrictions. And it wasn't enough. He couldn't win on his own. And when that lesson set in, when the Lakers brought back Derek Fisher and traded for Pau Gasol, when players like Lamar Odom developed into contributors, Kobe finally trusted.
Okay, now to be fair to Lamar Odom, he was always a contributor. I mean, he was a contributor all the way before he even became a Laker. When he was in Miami with Dwayne Wade, he was a good number 2 guy there. So I wouldn't say that he was not a contributor or he became a contributor. He was always that guy, in my opinion. He was Kobe's number 2 guy for a while there.
He never gave away the keys. He never changed his nature. But he finally started putting the puzzle pieces together. At season's end, he was a first-team All-NBA selection, a first-team All-Defensive selection, and for the first time in his illustrious career, Kobe Bryant was the NBA regular season's most valuable player.
It's crazy. It's the only time he won it, too.
In the playoffs, he led the Lakers through that loaded conference for a berth in the NBA Finals, emphatically reasserting himself as a franchise player and a leader. The opponent of the Lakers in those 2008 finals was none other than the Boston Celtics. And if you're watching this video and you've made it this far, I'm certain I don't need to go into too much detail about that rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
In essence,
I mean, this is kind of cool after doing that, the Game 7 from, the 1984 NBA Finals. Yep. What were they chanting the whole time and at the Garden, beat LA.
NBA is built on the Celtics-Lakers rivalry. As of the creation of this video, the Lakers and Celtics have won 17 championships apiece. That's 34 of the 75 championships ever won in the NBA, 45%. They have met in the championship series 12 times, with each featuring a litany of the greatest players the game has ever seen. And this was no different. Across the court from Kobe and Pau stood the Celtics' new big three: Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen. Every finals has something at stake. They all affect legacies and create icons and legends. But the stage doesn't get much bigger. The lights don't get much brighter than Lakers Celtics. And for the first time since 1987, the two met. After 21 years.
Can we be real? This was an awesome moment in basketball. I'm not a Celtics fan, nor am I a Lakers fan, but this was an awesome series, and we got this. We got this again. It was really cool to have this back.
The rivalry had been revived. Despite the improvement the Lakers had made, the Celtics proved too much to handle.
Yep.
Paul Pierce had an excellent series, winning the Finals MVP, and was said by many to have outplayed Bryant. The death nail of the series came in Game 4, when the Lakers blew a 24-point third-quarter lead, watching as the Celtics set a record for the largest finals comeback since 1971. In the final game of the series, the Celtics set another record for the most lopsided victory in a championship-clinching game ever. The tide had turned yet again for Kobe Bryant. There was no storybook ending, no capping off of his newfound stature as a lead his team to a championship guy. Instead, people started wondering if they jumped the gun on giving him that kind of distinction. Questions still surrounded Kobe. He had gotten the Lakers back to the finals, but could he really be a guy who could lead them to a championship?
Oh, I knew he'd be right back.
Was this a real shift in attitude, or was this just a one-time thing? Does he really get it?
I mean, that's the thing. This year really convinced me, yeah, Kobe's about to win more. He's definitely about to win more. I had no doubt in my mind he'd be right back into the finals the next year because he finally did figure it out. Boston was just too much. It was too much for the Lakers' first go at this.
Enter the Black Mamba. Following the 2008 finals loss, Kobe went to a place he had never gone to before. He'd always been known for his work ethic, but he doubled down on it, pushing his body and abilities like never before. During the offseason, he represented the US during the Olympic Games and quickly became the unquestioned alpha dog on the famously loaded Redeem team that featured players like LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, and Carmelo Anthony. Matched up against Spain and his running mate Pau in the Olympic final, Bryant set the tone, running right through his Laker co-star.
Oof,
the message was
I haven't
simple
seen that one in
obvious.
a while.
I don't care that we're boys. I don't care that we're teammates. Right now, we're opponents.
Yeah, not today.
And I will fucking destroy you. After bringing the gold medal back to America, Kobe began scouring nearly every available source he could find for information and lessons on leadership and success. He asked successful people in all manner of fields about their processes, even reaching out to composer John Williams about his work. His pursuit of knowledge was so great that the great Bill Russell cited Kobe as his favorite active player.
Yep.
Because Kobe had devoured Russell's autobiography, Second Wind, and had gone so far as to call Russell and pick his brain on all matter of things. Whatever it was.
Yeah, he did this with a lot of NBA greats too. That's why everyone loved him, all the former players, because he paid respect to them. He not only paid respect to them, asked for their input, asked for their knowledge. Everyone wants to pay it forward. Everyone wants to pass on their knowledge when they're older. And both sides are benefiting.
Those years spent losing, watching Shaq win a title without him, the public scorn, being coached by Phil Jackson, or some combination of all of it, something had gotten through to him. The lesson had been learned. He started putting it together in 2008, enough that the Lakers were good enough to make a run at the finals. In 2009, he and the Lakers were eager to prove that they could win it all. How did that 2009 season shape up for the Lakers?
Yeah.
65 wins in the regular season, the third most in franchise history.
Yeah, they were on a mission.
It was Kobe like we'd never seen him before, with stories abounding of him inviting teammates out to dinner and connecting with everyone on the roster, from Powell, Fisher, and Lamar Odom, all the way to guys like Luke Walton and Sasha Vujacic.
I thought Clayton was going to tell the tidbit, but I guess I'll tell it. Paul Gasol tells a story of, right after the gold medal game. I mean, not right after, but the next season, first day they're together. Spain, Paul Gasol loses to Kobe Bryant, essentially. Spain versus U.S. What does Kobe do? He gets into Pau Gasol's locker room and he hangs up the gold medal. So, Pau opens up the locker, sees the gold medal, and he's pissed. He's like, what the hell, Kobe? Blah, 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 blah. And Kobe's like, it hurts, right? It hurts. Well, you want to win a freaking championship together then? Huh? Just getting in his head like that. Like, yeah, I don't want to feel that pain. Do you want to feel that pain this season? Or do you want to win it? Because just 1 year prior, they lost in the finals to Boston. So he's like, you lost 2 in a row. Do you want to lose 3 in a row at this point? And that lit a fire in his ass,
All while maintaining his otherworldly reputation as a scorer, competitor, and all-around threat. He had his highest shooting percentage since 2002, broke Bernard King's 25-year-old MSG scoring record, was a first-team everything, and was the co-MVP of the All-Star Game, along with who else but Shaquille O'Neal. Kobe was denied a second consecutive MVP only because of the emergence of LeBron James and his 66-win Cleveland Cavaliers. He'd scored more points in years prior. He'd won the MVP the year before. But I don't
want to make this about LeBron, but just to back this up a second, 66 wins,
James,
right?
And his 66-win Cleveland.
66 wins. This is why, we say we were expecting him to meet up with Kobe in the finals. It was a disappointment that he didn't make the finals. And anybody who wants to call a 66-win team bad, y'all are crazy for that. I never understand that. If you're that good in the regular season, there's no excuse to choke in the final and then play in the playoffs.
And Cavaliers. He'd scored more points in years prior. He'd won the MVP the year before. But the venom in the fangs of the Black Mamba was never deadlier than in 2009. All season long, NBA fans had anticipated a collision between Kobe's Lakers and LeBron's Cavs in the finals for a number of reasons. Yep. They were the teams with the 2 best records in the league, led by the top 2 MVP vote getters, with Kobe representing the past and present, while LeBron, at just 24 years old, was the future.
And they had that Nike campaign back then, too, where it was the Muppets versions of them. But, I really feel like it was supposed to happen. Like, the NBA really wanted it to happen, and they were going to push for it. But LeBron fell apart.
It have been a watershed showdown, and its implications would have echoed throughout the league for decades.
For sure, we got robbed.
The Lakers held up their end, advancing to their second consecutive finals. But in one of the shocking upsets of the decade, the Orlando Magic bounced the Cavs in 6 games.
Yeah, with no Jameer
setting
Nelson.
up a Lakers Magic finals. Now, like I said earlier, every finals carries weight. There is no championship that doesn't count, no ring that isn't earned. But to say that the matchup wasn't a letdown would be a lie.
For real, yeah.
Nonetheless, the heavily favored Lakers took their opponents seriously. In the first game of the series, Kobe exploded for 40 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Not so much channeling the old Kobe, but showcasing this newer, smarter, more evolved incarnation.
Now those 8 assists speak volumes.
He trusted his teammates, gave them their chances, and took over when the moment demanded it. The Los Angeles Lakers won the 2009 NBA championship in 5 games. And after 32 points, 5.5 rebounds, and a series-high 7 assists, Kobe Bryant was named the finals most valuable player for the first time in his career.
So fitting to have Bill Russell be handing it to him as well.
The top of the mountain, back at last.
Yep.
He'd been a part of the most dominant duo in basketball history, yes. But now he had proven that he was on the short list of guys who could be the league's very best player and lead his team to an NBA championship.
Oh, that one must have felt good.
You know, now he had as many rings as Shaq.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. But even still, there were whispers, doubters, people who poo-pooed the championship, saying that the Lakers wouldn't have stood a chance against a team like the Celtics or the Cavs, and that they lucked out by matching up with the Magic.
Well, I don't get that one with the Cavs, because the Cavs couldn't match up against Orlando, and Orlando couldn't last more than 5 games against the Lakers. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I think the Cavs would have got their asses spanked, tell you the truth, that this year, no, the Lakers were destined to win.
Reinvigorated by his last remnants of doubters and by the team's acquisition of former Defensive Player of the Year Ron Artest, Kobe assumed his fully evolved form. At 31 years old, in his 13th professional season, he had finally reached the stage of his career where he had the wisdom to match his talent. He wasn't the most athletic player in the league anymore, but no one did a better job at utilizing that athleticism. He had a veteran's know-how and a champion's confidence. A deadly combination in a man like Kobe Bryant. Over the course of the 2009-2010 season, Kobe became the Lakers' all-time leading scorer, passing Jerry West on February 1st, 2010. He came up clutch throughout the season, time and time again, delivering iconic play after iconic play. Which is not to mention the fact that he fractured the index finger on his right hand.
Oh, yeah.
Elected not to take any time off, and hit one of those game winners just 5 days later.
Yeah, that's Kobe.
It's just another story of Kobe's maniacal will to win, and another anecdote of his inhuman pain tolerance.
Yeah, he didn't care. He figured out, he cracked the code finally. He just cracked the code. This is what I have to do in order to win. And all you got to do is keep doing it and improve on it. He finally figured it out. I don't blame him. He's like, screw the pain. You got to defend his championship.
Which is something that I haven't really been able to touch on yet. And actually, there are a few things I haven't mentioned or won't be able to mention that I want to touch on. All of his other injuries that he played through. His atrocious rap career. The fact that he would play every guard on his team, 1-on-1 to 100 throughout his career. How he would break out the underbite when he was really cooking, Paul Pierce's poop game, the vetoed CP3 trade, Kobe's weird crown tattoo, the fact that the video of him jumping over the Aston Martin is fake, that time he got served a 2-piece combo by Chris Childs, how his marriage to Vanessa caused a rift with his parents, resulting in this heartbreaking picture because he couldn't celebrate his 2001 championship with them, and how he learned some Slovenian so that he could shit-talk Luka courtside. The Lakers wrapped up the 2010 regular season.
He was doing that in the Olympics, too. He was trash-talking, I forgot which team, definitely Spain, but also France. Because I think it was France, because I think, what's his name? Tony Parker was on the other end of that. And, yeah, man, he would learn other countries' languages just to shit-talk them. Or even just individuals, like he did with Luka.
With the best record in the Western Conference yet again. Kobe was first-team everything again and finished third in league MVP voting. Pau continued to flourish as a double-double machine next to Kobe, and the rest of the team fit perfectly around them. A well-calibrated, two-way machine, chock full of heady veterans who had all passed the Kobe Bryant toughness test. LA marched through the Western Conference, defeating the Oklahoma City Thunder, Utah Jazz, and Phoenix Suns on their way to their third consecutive finals. And who should the Lakers find standing opposite them at this final stage of their journey? The last obstacle in their quest to become back-to-back champions. The Boston Celtics, of course. Do I even need to set this series up? You've got the last two league champions squaring off in the finals. Those two teams happen to be the Lakers and Celtics, and the series will feature at least 5 surefire Hall of Famers, almost all of whom are in their primes.
Yep, this is round 2.
And don't forget that
this is like Rocky 2, you know, the rematch with Apollo Creed.
Rematch of the 2008 finals, adding a layer of dynamics to the series that becomes so insane that I can't even articulate it. Which, for our purposes, all adds up to a chance for Kobe Bryant to cement himself once and for all the haters and doubters and fans alike, as one of the very best basketball players who has ever played the game.
Yepers.
After 5 games, the Lakers trailed the Celtics 3 games to 2. They had lost Game 5 by 6 points, despite a 38-point outing from Kobe. His Achilles heel had once again begun to reveal itself. His unwavering confidence meant that he never met a shot he didn't like, but it also meant that he lacked the scoring efficiency of a player like Jordan. And in the crucible of such a high-stakes series, Bryant might have been too amped up, and was forcing the issue against an incredible defensive team. Facing elimination and the prospect of a second finals loss to the Celtics in 3 years, the Lakers stuck out their chests, kindled their pride, and submitted a masterful defensive performance in Game 6. They beat the Celtics by 22 points and held Boston to just 67 total points, setting up a do-or-die, winner-take-all game in Los Angeles. Everything came down to the best 2 words in sports. Game 7.
Undefeated.
If you thought Kobe was going to take a backseat now, you have not been paying attention. Which didn't necessarily spell good things. Kobe's Game 7 goes down as another of his most perplexing. He couldn't help himself. He wanted it too bad. He only made 6 of his 24 field goal attempts, determined to be the hero. Still, he made up for his poor shooting by crashing the boards to the tune of 15 rebounds and forcing himself to the line, especially in the fourth quarter.
I mean, look at here, real quick, yeah. Yes, everything he's saying is true, but it wasn't just him. Look at the score in the fourth quarter. 59-57 with 8 minutes and 45 seconds left. This was a slugfest to end all slugfest, okay? You won't find one person who shot well this game. Why? The defense was that elite on both sides.
With the game nearing its close, the Lakers were desperately holding on to a 6-point lead. But after a Rasheed Wallace tray cut the Laker lead to just 3 points, with 90 seconds remaining, the Lakers' season was on the line. Score, and you push the advantage to 2 possessions. Miss, and the Celtics have a multitude of options to tie the game and potentially force overtime. So what do you think? Knowing what you know about Kobe Bryant, someone who has struggled with trust his entire career, driven by maybe the most unshakable confidence an athlete has ever possessed, in a game where that confidence has been on full display to the detriment of his team, in the final minute of a Game 7, as he tries to ice the game and cement his legacy, what do you think happens?
He's passing it to Steve Kerr.
Bryant looking. Our chest. That's a 3.
He passed the ball.
Yep.
He passed the ball, and 60 seconds later, the Los Angeles Lakers were champions once more. What is there to even say? I know that's kind of what I'm here for, but doesn't this footage just tell you what you need to know? It meant everything. A second consecutive championship.
And Boston.
Another finals MVP. Getting the last laugh. Writing a dramatic chapter in one of sport's greatest rivalries. Validating the championship the previous year. And of course, for Kobe, his 5th championship meant that he had one more than Shaq.
Yeah.
Even the most outspoken critic, even the most die-hard Celtic fan, was forced to admit Kobe Bean Bryant was one of the greatest players of all time.
Yes, sir.
The following few seasons only served to reinforce this fact. The Lakers didn't three-peat, losing in the 2011 postseason to the eventual champion Mavericks, and in the 2012 postseason to the eventual Western Conference champion OKC Thunder. But in those years, Kobe earned another All-Star Game MVP, tying him for the most ever with 4. 2 more first-team All-League selections, 2 more All-Defensive Team selections, and continued adding to his resume as an exceptional scorer and crunch-time assassin. But it's clear in hindsight that this was the twilight of Bryant's career. Phil retired after the 2011 playoffs, ending his illustrious coaching career with 11 rings, the most by any coach in basketball history, and Kobe was limited in the 2012 season due to injuries to his wrist, nose, shin, and head. Still, the Black Mamba had entrenched himself in Los Angeles as the star of stars. The Mamba mentality had become folklore, He'd been a member of 5 championship teams and was still adding to his legacy. He occupied a very special place in Tinseltown. When celebrities wanted a night out, when they wanted to go to a show and see a master at work, they went to see Kobe Bryant.
Am I mistaken if I say that Derek Fisher was also there for all 5? Or did he come there after they won their first championship? I think he was there for all 5. If anybody knows, hit it up in the comments, please.
And in the 2012 Olympics, on the heels of LeBron's coronation as champion, Bryant gracefully ceded power to his young counterpart. After another gold medal, the Lakers made one last desperate attempt to build a contender around their 34-year-old superstar. 2 rivals of Bryant's were brought in: 2-time MVP Steve Nash and Bryant's foe in the 2009 finals, Dwight Howard. And after a disappointing 1-4 start, the Lakers brought in basketball visionary Mike D'Antoni. And
according to Jeannie and Phil was supposed to be in the spot. He was ready to do it again, and they built this awesome team, and he was gonna coach them to the championship. But what's his name? I forget. Which bus is it? One of the brothers, the one who was basically the GM at the time. He was the one who he hated Phil. So whatever it is, didn't happen.
All for naught. Bryant and Howard ignited an infamous feud due to differences in attitude and work ethic, echoing the Kobe-Shaq beef. While Nash struggled to stay healthy, let alone effective, as he pushed 39 years old.
His back was shot.
Which put Kobe in the position to do it himself. Nothing new.
Nothing new.
Once again, Bryant became the most entertaining one-man show in sports. At the halfway point of the season, he was leading the league in scoring. But the Lakers were a paltry 17-25. Without playmakers like Derek Fisher or even Lamar Odom, and with the deterioration of Nash's abilities, D'Antoni then made Bryant the de facto facilitator of the Lakers, with more control over the offense and with even more time spent with the ball. Kobe thrived in that role, and the team's record responded. It was one of the more impressive feats of his career. He created opportunities for teammates, maintained his own individual excellence, and dragged LA into the playoff race. Coming down the stretch of the season, still fighting for a spot in the postseason, Kobe was pressing on the accelerator to the tune of nearly 40 minutes a night. On April 12th, 2013.
And I gotta give D'Antoni some crap, because he's the only one who had the authority to make Kobe sit. And Kobe was not going to do it on his own. And Mike D'Antoni never overruled Kobe, and he played himself into this position that we're about to see.
The Lakers hosted the Golden State Warriors. Kobe was running on fumes, having played monster minutes in the last 7 games, including 4 in which he essentially played all 48 minutes of the game. Heading into that Friday evening, Kobe had played 7 consecutive quarters of basketball without a substitution.
Yeah, that's not okay.
There were multiple instances throughout the game that made it obvious that Kobe's body was under a massive strain. But it wasn't until the 4th quarter that his body finally quit. Trying to make a move around Harrison Barnes, Bryant was fouled and fell to the floor in a heap, grabbing at his ankle. After walking it out and catching his breath, Kobe stepped to the line and sank 2 free throws before being removed from the game. Subsequent tests revealed that he had torn his Achilles tendon, ending his season. Which, just for posterity, means that Kobe hit 2 free throws on a torn Achilles tendon. The Lakers went on to make the playoffs and were swept in the first round by the San Antonio Spurs.
And of course, Kobe's not getting carried off or anything like that, man. Nope, he doesn't want everyone to see that image.
Bryant.
He's walking his ass off the court.
That was it. That Achilles injury was the end of Kobe Bryant's career as an elite basketball player. The miles he'd put on his body over the past 17 seasons had finally taken their toll. Despite an intense rehab process, he played in just 6 games the following season because of a knee fracture. But Kobe being Kobe, he refused to accept that his career was ending. He rehabbed again and played in the first 27 games of the Lakers' 2015 season.
It's like he said, he wanted to go out on his own terms. Same with MJ. MJ said the same thing. I'm not going to limp off this court. I'm going to walk my ass off this court, you know? So Kobe, same thing. At this point, he could have just retired and been like, that was a great career. But he wanted to leave on his own terms, and that's what caused him to start his recovery journey.
Averaging 26 points and 35 minutes a game. But he got to those numbers by being the most inefficient volume scorer in the league.
Yeah.
Taking the most shots in the NBA and shooting under 40%. He didn't come with an off button. There was only one way for Kobe to play. Hard. And as he'd done countless times before, when he was cold or he wasn't in rhythm, he made it a point to double down and shoot himself out of the slump. Just look at this clip.
Oh my God.
He's shooting over 5 defenders here.
That's
and
too far.
Because he's the best tough shot
Okay, never mind. I'd say it's too far, but there's 0.2 left in a quarter. Okay, so he has to shoot it. I was going to say, no way did this happen in a regular play.
In league history, he almost made it.
Yeah, he did.
In December, he passed Michael Jordan for 3rd place on the list of the NBA's all-time scoring leaders. In January, he tore the rotator cuff on his right shoulder. It was an injury that would sideline him for the remainder of the season, having played just 35 games. But when I tell you that he returned to that January game and played the rest of it left-handed, are you even surprised?
Nope. I remember this.
The Lakers finished the 2015 season.
I remember it so well because my brother joking around and laughing. He's like, this fucking guy, like, even if he's got to shoot left-handed, he's going to take the most shots on a team. I'm like, yep, that's Kobe.
21-61 record. The most losses in Laker history. His body had truly betrayed him. And despite the fact that there was no precedent for a player of his age coming back from so many serious injuries and playing at an even moderately productive level, Kobe didn't quit. On October 28, 2015, at 37 years old, he debuted his 20th season with the Lakers, setting the record for the most seasons spent with a single team in NBA history. 1 month later, on November 29th...
Wait, can I hear that again?
20th season with the Lakers.
Hold up, sorry.
At 37 years old, he debuted his 20th season with the Lakers, setting the record for the most seasons spent with a single team in NBA history.
Wow. I'm assuming that still stands then.
1 month later, on November 29th, he made the announcement that everyone knew was coming. He announced that the 2015-2016 season would be his last, with a poem published in the Players Tribune titled Dear Basketball, saying in part, "This season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding, my mind can handle the grind, but my body knows it's time to say goodbye." The announcement kicked off a retirement tour for the ages. Everywhere he went, the arena sold out. Every time he checked into a game, the crowd would roar. After every road game, he was given gifts, made to watch video montages, and asked to make short speeches.
I'm really glad he got to experience that love before he retired.
Everyone wanted one last glimpse of Kobe Bryant in a Laker jersey. Even Sacramento, even San Antonio, and yes, even Boston. Which was in total contrast to his play. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but Kobe's play in his last year was truly dreadful. He was taking the 6th most three-pointers in the league, but was the league's worst three-point shooter.
This is like Charles Barkley
he shot
at the
just
end.
35% from the field, but was 15th in the league in shots per game. He was playing so poorly that even he admitted to playing poorly, essentially saying, "I know I'm playing like shit, I don't like that I'm playing like shit, and I really am working hard to not play like shit."
Yeah, it sounds like Kobe.
Whatever. The Kobe retirement tour was cool. He deserved it. One of the greats was saying goodbye.
Well, and then the way he went out.
He deserved a crowd.
He made up for it.
Kobe's basketball career ended on April 13th in a win over the Utah Jazz.
And guys, that's what makes this final game even crazier, is you could see that whole season, his body's his body's done. It's wrecked. You know, he's airballing threes and all kinds of things you would not expect Kobe to do because his body is just saying, screw you, Kobe, I'm done, retire. So to come out and do what he's about to do here in his final game, it makes it even more legendary.
It was just the Lakers' 17th win of the season, marking the worst season in franchise history. The Mamba was out. He never played professional basketball again. By the numbers, he retired as the NBA's third all-time scorer, a 5-time champion, an 18-time All-Star.
I guess we're not going to talk about it. He put up 60 points in that last game for a win. Like, that's... Yeah, in contrast to the rest of that season, it came out of nowhere.
A 4-time
Everything
All-Star
left in the
Game
tank.
MVP. A 15-time All-NBA selection, including 11 first-team selections. A member of 12 All-Defensive teams, the most ever by a guard. And was the leading scorer of the decade of the 2000s. But beyond just the figures and the stats, Kobe was the player of his generation. The worthy successor of Michael Jordan as the league's uber-competitive alpha dog, inspiring the next generation of NBA greats. Kobe and Tim Duncan both have arguments as the best players of that era, but Kobe's impact and cultural relevance dwarf that of the venerable Big Fundamental. What do you yell when you throw a wad of paper into the trash can? He epitomized the idea of working ceaselessly to fulfill one's own potential. The Mamba mentality. Jordan was a maniac, but his fire was pathological. He couldn't stand to lose at anything. That took him to casinos and golf courses, always in need of another win. Kobe's dedication during his career was purely toward being the best basketball player he could possibly be. He didn't care if he was popular. He even admitted that he wasn't a very good friend, not one to remember birthdays or send presents. But in his own words, friends can come and go, but banners hang forever. After his retirement from basketball, Kobe turned his attention toward filmmaking and content creation. In one of his first creative endeavors, he worked with former Disney animator Glenn Keane and composer John Williams to turn his poem Dear Basketball into a short animated film. The film was nominated for and won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film in 2017.
I don't know about you guys. When I watched this the first time, it made me cry.
Barely a year after retiring from basketball, Kobe Bryant had won an Oscar. He was just that kind of guy. From there, he set his sights on creating content with 4 people in mind: his 4 daughters. As a devoted girl dad, he'd become disillusioned by the kind of programming and content that was directed at young girls. He felt like his daughters didn't need story after story about a damsel in distress, a girl who exists purely as a love interest, or a woman who needs saving. Kobe wanted to change that. To that end, he also supported the sports his daughters were active in, advocated women's sports, the WNBA,
Yes, he did,
and coached his 13-year-old daughter Gianna's basketball team. On January 26, 2020, Kobe and 8 others boarded a charter helicopter for a flight from Orange County to a basketball game in Newbury Park.
All right, let's do it real quick. Where were you when you heard the news? I was outside of a Best Buy. Because I was buying my mother the equivalent of an Amazon Fire Stick called an NVIDIA Shield. And I was going to go set it up for her that day. And when I walked out, for whatever reason, I walked out of the Best Buy. I bought the device, and I checked my phone, and then I was in complete disbelief. I'll always remember that moment. All right, what about you guys? Comments.
With Kobe was his Gianna, John and Carrie Altobelli, their daughter Alyssa, Sarah Chester and her daughter Peyton, Coach Christina Mauser, and pilot Ara Zobayan. At approximately 9:45 that morning, the helicopter was enveloped in a thick fog, and crashed on a hillside in Calabasas, California. All 9 people on board were killed. The tragedy defied words.
No, it's terrible.
And although this video is about Kobe, I want to make a point to recognize that he was not the only one lost.
Yeah, thank you.
Just because they weren't famous basketball players does not make any of their deaths less tragic. It feels like by talking solely about Kobe, we're ignoring the fact that other people lost their lives, that other families were destroyed, that 3 teenage girls didn't get the chance to grow up and write their legacies.
Yeah, shout out to Clayton for that. That's, yeah, you're right on target there, man.
So before going further, I want to acknowledge and remember them. But the world did lose Kobe Bryant too. Just like that, one of the most recognizable sports figures was gone. So much was written and said about it at the time, and his connection to fans was so personal that to try to describe the void he left feels almost like a waste of words. Tributes poured in from across the world. His death reminded everyone of the fragility of life, urging many people, public and otherwise, to mend old relationships and be better people. The NBA renamed its All-Star Game MVP award in his honor. Kobe was posthumously inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in May of the following year. And on October 11, 2020, 9 months after the crash, the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA championship for the first time in a decade. He is the second best player who has ever played his position, a cultural icon and a generational talent. The Lakers are basketball's signature franchise. And perhaps not to say he is the best, but for what he represented and for all the things he did, Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time. Kobe's death was surprising because he did not seem like someone who could die.
Yeah, well said.
He was an invincible warrior, an indomitable will. He was supposed to become a filmmaker, become an elder statesman with a gray beard, who would sit courtside at the All-Star Game in the finals and shake hands with the newest crop of NBA greats. Still, nobody can say that he died without living, loving, and experiencing life to its fullest. The gunslinger walked away with an empty clip, which is the closest thing we can find to consolation when remembering Kobe's life and his death. Once he decided to be himself, he was relentless and uncompromisingly him, exemplified best by his very last game in the NBA. In the days leading up to the game, expectations for Bryant were high.
Okay, so I get it. So you were saving it for the end. All right. Dang. One quick thing, and then we'll let this play out. Have you guys seen that sit down with T-Mac after Kobe died, where T-Mac is like kind of dumbfounded because he's like, I don't know why, but Kobe used to always tell me from a young age, I want to die young. I want to die young. Like basically he wants to just like I don't know how to say, like freak out the whole world because like he accomplished all this stuff so fast and then he dies young. You know, like it sticks with me. I get why it probably haunts T-Mac too, but like I'll never forget hearing T-Mac talk about it because wow, like what a prophecy, you know.
Despite the Lakers' struggles that season and despite his poor play, this was Kobe Bryant we're talking about. It was basically a foregone conclusion that he would leave everything out there. He'd have the greenest of green lights.
Yeah.
And he was gonna take advantage of it. But what would happen? Would it be an ignoble ass whooping like Dan Marino's last game? Or could he deliver some magic one last time? Thinking of Kobe's last season and his approach to that last game, I constantly think about a quote from Grantland's Brian Phillips, who wrote about Kobe's last season that January, saying, "If preserving his sense of who and what he is means ending his career loudly and embarrassingly, he will be as loud and embarrassing as he can." The game itself was an event. Nearly every celebrity you can think of was in attendance. Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Nicholson, Jay-Z, Kanye, Shaq, and so on. The pressure was on. The lights were bright. It wasn't a playoff game or a finals game, but whatever the result, it would be remembered. The tone of the evening was set early as Kobe took 13 shots in just the first quarter.
His teammates were just passing him the ball nonstop. Of course.
He only connected on 5 though, registering 15 of the Lakers' 19 points, with ballistic cheers reverberating throughout the Staples Center on every make. He sat for half of the second quarter, scoring just 7 points on 2 of 7 shooting as the Jazz started to pull away. At the half, Kobe had scored 22 points on 7 of 20 shooting. It's hard to capture the feeling of that night in hindsight. Every eye was fixed on Kobe at all times, whether he had the ball or not. Every heart started beating a little faster the second his hands touched the ball. Every breath was held when he summoned the last vestiges of energy that those legs had left and rose up to take a shot. It didn't matter that he wasn't shooting well. He'd never been known for his pinpoint accuracy. It mattered that Kobe Bryant was doing what we'd hoped.
Going out and
leaving every
gunslinger.
last ounce of energy, spirit, and prayer out on the hardwood in the building he helped make famous.
Y'all ever see Rocky V, the Rocky Balboa is the title of it movie? This was that in real life, the way I see it. Everything that was left in the attic, time to let it out. And just leave it out there instead of the ring, leave it out there on the court. And I think that's why Kobe was able to retire without a single regret. He just moved on to the next thing.
The Jazz held a 15-point lead over the Lakers as the final half of the career of Kobe Bryant began. He played the entire quarter and captured our attention one last time. He took a ridiculous 14 shots in the third quarter and made half of them, registering 15 points as the Lakers cut the Jazz lead down to 9 entering the fourth quarter. When the fourth quarter began, Kobe Bryant had scored 37 points, already his second highest point total of the season. How much could he possibly have left?
Hey man, Shaq challenged him to get 50. He had to get at least 50.
In the final quarter of the final game of a 20-year career, after all the injuries and setbacks, what could this guy have left in the tank? Just enough. Every shot he took in that fourth quarter looked like it was drawing energy from Bryant's very soul. Each one another note in the swan song of the greatest Laker.
He looked like a boxer.
He shot and shot and shot, willing the ball into the basket time and time again. He passed 40 points. Then he passed 50, the third oldest player to do so ever, sucking air into his fatigued body, demanding that it cooperate just this one last time. All of a sudden, with less than 2 minutes to go, the Lakers were in a 2-possession ball game. Could the Mamba strike one last time? With 1 minute left, the Lakers trailed by a single point. And with 34 seconds left, Kobe Bryant took his 50th shot of the game, the last he would ever take in the NBA. And he made it. After the Jazz failed to score, they intentionally fouled Bryant, sending him to the free throw line with the chance to score his 59th and 60th points of the night. The Lakers won the game 101-96. Kobe's last shot proved to be the game winner. He became the oldest player in NBA history to score 60 points in a game and set the mark for the most points scored in a single game by any player in the 2016 season.
Crazy.
He took 50 shots to get there. The most in a single game by any player since 1967.
The craziest thing, though, is they won. They won.
That, to me, is the consolation. The game was as Kobe gets. An inordinate number of shots, an ungodly number of points, a crowd screaming his name, and of course, the game winner at the end. The last time we saw Kobe Bryant on a basketball court was the most fitting end to the career of the player of his generation imaginable. One final, masterful performance. How perfect is it that that is how he left the game? An icon, a winner, a legend.
What a beautiful video. Yeah, guys, normally I have like an outro and I say stuff, but like, what can I say after that? Like, Clayton Crowley, you nailed it. You nailed it. I don't even want to sour it with any of my words. Like, what a beautiful final like 20 minutes of this video. It was poetry. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it with that and just say thank you all for watching this with me. Can't wait to talk to you guys in the comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. And also thank you for the patience. You know who you are, for waiting for me to react to this. But yeah, I'm not gonna sour it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Be water, my friends.